Hello everyone, the problem that we're looking at today is the serial 2 of the contest for which we've already looked at 2 problems. And actually this problem was requested specifically by an audience at the comments of the last video of the same contest. So I just wanted to let you guys know, since I have a bunch of free time and have not a lot of subscribers, you guys can literally just leave comments requesting what problems you want me to do, and I'll probably do them because I really don't get a lot of comments in my videos. So yeah, anyways, this problem, I'm assuming you can read the problem statement yourself. It's pretty straightforward. Each cow pick one of its favorite two, and if it's gone, then she goes hungry. And now you're trying to find the optimal permutation, and the least cow goes hungry. So you can think about it first. Pause the video, and okay. So first of all, obviously this is like a graph theory problem because it's like a best match, and it's just pretty instinctive. That's graph theory. However, usually we will want to make a cow as a node. However, in this case, a cow is an edge, which, if you think about it, actually makes a lot of sense. So as long as you can think outside the box and consider the possibility of cow being an edge, this problem goes a lot easier. Because a cow has a favorite and a second favorite, so it connects two nodes, just like how an edge connects two nodes. So cereals are nodes and cows are edges. And now that we have a graph, notice that we can just consider each connected component separately. And there's only really very few cases for each connected component. First of all, the least number of edges is the case in which the component is the tree. In that case, we can just do any ordering and any cow will get one of its two favorite. Obviously, like, you can give that a try. And if it's a tree, one cereal will be left out, but all cows will get this at least one cereal. And if it's a tree with one extra edge, meaning number of edges equals number of nodes, then we have to first make a tree, and then there has to be one backward edge. And if we start from that backward edge and then output the rest of the edges in any order, we'll be able to get every single cow as box of cereal with no cereal left out. Finally, with the cases with more boxes of cereals than cows, obviously we can still only get the number of cereals that many cows to not go hungry, because we can't give one cereal to more than one cow. So in that case, we also have to find just any backward edge and start from that edge and then iterate through the tree in any order. So the implementation is honestly pretty difficult, 200 lines, even though with my gigantic head file, it's still pretty lengthy for a silver problem. And essentially, what I'm doing is, first of all, I construct the graph, and for every edge, I also have to keep track of the cow that is this edge, so we can output them in the correct order. And then I also have the preprocess that keep track of the roots of every component, the cows of every connected component, and the number of cereals in every connected component, because obviously they're all very important information. So we're going to use those later. And bel is what a cow belongs to. So bel x equals num means the x cow belongs to that num's connected component. And then we continue DFS, sorry. Oh, and also in this process, we have to keep track of used, which means whether an edge is used on this tree, and if it's not, it's a backwards edge. So after we do the preprocessed DFS, we find all the backward edges for each connected component, which is just any edge that wasn't used in the DFS. And then I can't mem set, but I also don't want to make a new array, so I just kind of cleared it. And for the output, it's just pretty easy. If number of cows is less than the number of cereals, that means it's a tree. So we just output them in any order. So out P is just an output that iterates through the tree, starting from the node that you assign. In this case, out P root I. So you start from root I, but you can really start from anything because it's a tree. In any other cases, we want every single cow to have a box of cereal, so we have to start on the backward edge. So see out the backward edge, and then if we went to this, then I think this is like impossible or something. Yeah, I think this if was just for to output a different thing. I think I was debugging because obviously it's an infinite loop. So don't worry about this. That was for debugging. There's also a bunch of other debugging stuff, like this is debugging and this is debugging. So if you see any of those like that in the code, don't worry about it if it's like weird. Anyways, we out P starting from this backward edge, starting from the father of this backward edge, and then we'll out P is going to iterate through it in a DFS order. And notice that every single node we went to and outputting, we visited it. So if a node is not visited, then we'll just output it individually at the end, because those cows don't get any cereal, obviously. So yeah, that's another debugging while one. So the program will return TLE. So when I see a TLE verdict, I know that this happened. It's a pretty smart debugging strategy, by the way. Anyways, that's it for this video. Hopefully you understood this problem, and yeah, it's honestly pretty good for a silver problem. Right difficulty, maybe slightly too difficult for January, but It's okay. Okay, thanks. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Okay, I didn't grind today, but I did do the MIT IT contest, which is one of the biggest contests yearly, not as big as Calico, but basically as big as Calico. There's like 300 teams in the division that I did, which is beginner division, unfortunately, because they grouped gold as beginner, which I mean, compare platinum and campers, yeah, we are beginners. So the beginner division, I did it with two very oars people, but somehow I still managed to do 400. I still managed to get 400 of the 630 points that we got, mostly because the problems I did are all the easiest ones. The other two people did the harder problems. One of them took a nap for like half the time. So yeah, we probably could have gotten a better ranking, but we got 37th place, no 35th after the anti AI thing overall. So yeah, honestly, not too bad. And if you want to see, this is our results. Pretty straightforward. I solved M, marble, introduction number theory, and 6-7. And one of the harder ones, like this one, this one is not hard. P equals MP. The second one is not hard, but this problem and these 30 points are all solved by the other very oars person who got 780 something. I'm pretty sure on gold, which is not like another level compared to me. And we were also really, really close to getting full credit on this last one because look at this. Well, I bet most people TLE like way up there for the last test case. Well, this guy's code TLE only for a tiny bit, and there's only 4 test cases left, which is crazy. So we were so close to getting top. Let me see what we'll get if we're 700 points. We were so close to getting 16th place. Okay, yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, so MIT went pretty great. I was mostly just kind of speedy, solving easy problems, but I didn't actually contribute much in the harder problems, specifically 789. 789, yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Didn't grind much, but did do problems. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.